You know, going into this movie, I had no idea what to expect. The way they did the promotional material meant you had to go searching at least a little bit to figure out what this movie was even about. And even then, I wouldn't really call it the full picture. So I'm going to give you a chance to watch this movie as I did, with no idea what it's about going into it. Because I do believe it's worth watching in the theaters. Sure, it's more geared towards kids and families, if you couldn't tell that from all the weird creatures that they showed off. But if you're on the fence or simply don't really care about this movie at all, let's talk about If. So If starts just like Up, with a little family video montage thing detailing a nice family life, interrupted by a tragic death. The death of the mother of our main girl here, played by Kaylee Fleming. Obviously being in some distress over this event, she finds herself being pursued by an imaginary friend, or If, as they're called in this movie.
Get it? Imaginary? Friend?
And that If is trying to help her. And in this process, she meets Ryan Reynolds, someone that is just like her. You see, not everyone can just see imaginary friends like they can. You either have to be born with the ability, or they have to be the correct kid that can adopt said imaginary friend. That's right. Welcome to the start of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Ryan here has been trying for a while to get these friends paired off with very limited success. He's not doing it out of the goodness of his heart either. He just really wants these crazy things to leave him alone. But being the only person that can see them, well, one of the only people now, they refuse to leave him alone. Haley, considering she just lost her mom and her life is starting to get a bit crazier with these imaginary friends pestering her, she wants them to leave her alone as well. Not gonna happen when she's the first kid to see them in years, though. So for her own mental sanity, she decides to help Ryan get them adopted. And the interactions between these two is really fun. Ryan's really tired and old man vibe, as he obviously just wants to be done with this, and Kaylee's more childlike wonder and innocence. Yeah, it is a simple formula, but there's a reason it's been used so many times, and it works really well in this movie with all the crazy shenanigans it gets up to. I mean, what were you expecting with a movie dealing with I know I can't be the only one that's singing along to that. And just like Figment, every single one of these imaginary friends is really cool, with actual personalities, which is kind of shocking considering most of them get 5 minutes of screen time, and there's like 20 of them overall. Every single one is different and unique, looking real enough that you can see them walking among the humans, while being just cartoonish enough to get across that they are imaginary friends. This movie is probably one of the most whimsical and just plain fun ones I've seen in a bit. Sure, Wonka had its whimsy and fun, but it was a lot more grounded than the shenanigans they get up to in this movie. And yet, there's always this little lingering darkness. It walks a thin line, and it does it really well. And I really want to talk about the ending of this movie, but I can't because spoilers. I really love the ending of this movie. And sure, I could go and nitpick a few things in this movie, like the shenanigans they get up to, kind of make it hard to follow the plot just a little bit. Or there is one character that just feels really weird. It's not an imaginary friend, but again, these are nitpicks. I don't know, I just really enjoyed this movie. Maybe it brought out the inner kid in me and I just lost myself in it. I don't really know. But as I said at the beginning, I would encourage you to see this movie in theaters, especially if you're a parent with some younger kids. You can certainly have some fun with this one.